It started with a scream. Not the kind you hear in movies, no. This one was guttural, animalistic. It cut through the quiet streets of Alexandria, Kentucky like a blade. At exactly 3:17 a.m., neighbors on Maple Hollow Drive were awakened by the sound of sheer panic. One woman said it rattled the windows. Another described it as a soul leaving a body. Within 10 minutes, police arrived at 1124 Maple Hollow Drive. What they found inside would haunt every responding officer for the rest of their lives. The front door was ajar. Blood smeared the hallway walls. In the kitchen, every drawer had been pulled open, silverware scattered, broken dishes on the floor. But it was the bedroom that told the real story. A young woman, early 20s, was lying on the floor. Her fingernails were ripped off, her eyes wide open in terror. There were bruises around her neck and something carved into her chest. 2 words: "Help me." The police immediately locked down the house, but what they couldn't explain was what was missing. Because nothing was taken. Not the wallet, not the jewelry, not the laptop, phone, or credit cards. What was missing was her voice. Her name was Emily Grace Whitmore, 22 years old, a nursing student. No history of mental illness, no criminal record, no enemies, at least none that anyone knew of. But by sunrise, every media outlet in Kentucky was talking about her, and they all asked the same question. What happened to Emily Grace? It all began in the quiet suburb of Alexandria, Kentucky, a town known for its tight-knit community, tree-lined streets, and a population that rarely saw headlines, until Savannah Whitlow vanished without a trace on a crisp October morning. Savannah was 22, a nursing student at Northern Kentucky University, living with her longtime boyfriend Cameron Blake in a small rental home on Hickory Lane. The two had been dating for nearly 4 years and were the couple everyone expected to marry. By all appearances, their life was ordinary, peaceful even. But beneath that surface, tension had started to crack. Savannah had recently confided that she was feeling trapped. She wanted to transfer to a university out of state, California specifically. Morning of October 14th, 2022, Savannah was supposed to drive to campus for a midterm exam. She never showed up. At first, Cameron claimed she had left for class around 7:30 a.m., just like any normal day. But when Savannah's professors reported her absence, and she failed to answer calls and texts from friends and family, alarm bells rang. Her mother, Linda Whitlow, called Cameron repeatedly, asking if he'd heard anything. He sounded confused. "Maybe she's blowing off steam," he said. "She's been stressed lately." By 5 p.m., Linda filed a missing person report. That night, officers from the Alexandria Police Department visited Savannah and Cameron's home. Cameron allowed them inside. The house was clean, her car was still gone, her wallet was missing, but oddly, her phone was still plugged in on the nightstand. When asked about her last known movements, Cameron insisted Savannah had kissed him goodbye before heading out, just like she always did, but something didn't feel right. Savannah's best friend, Riley Hart, told detectives that she and Savannah had plans to meet for coffee that morning, and Savannah never missed their Tuesday meetups. Not once. Meanwhile, a neighbor 2 doors down, Mrs. Evelyn Crane, approached officers to say she'd noticed something strange. "I always sit on my porch around 7:30, she said. "I remember seeing Savannah's car still in the driveway around 8, then it was gone by 8:45, but I never saw her come outside." Police began to dig deeper. Phone records showed no outgoing calls or texts after 10:42 p.m. the night before, and then they found a strange detail. A deleted text from Savannah's phone, recovered via forensic software. It was a message sent to Riley at 1:17 a.m. "I need to get out of here. I don't feel safe anymore." That line, "I don't feel safe anymore," changed everything. Suddenly, Cameron wasn't just the worried boyfriend. He was the prime suspect. VO, calm, investigative tone. By the second week, Alexandra's disappearance had turned into a statewide mystery. Police combed through the quiet streets of Kentucky, knocking on every door, chasing every lead. But the more they searched, the stranger it got. Detectives discovered that 2 days before Alexandra vanished, she withdrew $400 in cash, but never used it. Her bank account remained untouched. Surveillance footage from a nearby gas station showed her car, Parked for exactly 17 minutes. Drops to whisper. She wasn't alone. Footage shows a blurred figure, male, tall, wearing a faded hoodie, leaning against the car. He speaks to Alexandra through the window. She unlocks the door. They both drive off. VO sharp. That man has never been identified. Detectives release the footage to the public. Tips flood in, but none are solid. Then, a retired police officer calls in with something bizarre. He's seen that same hoodie, in connection with another missing woman from 2018. The trail leads them to an abandoned farmhouse, 40 miles from Alexandra's last known location. Inside, old furniture, beer cans, and a notebook filled with cryptic messages. One page reads, "She said yes, but not yet. She knows too much." Forensic teams find hair strands matching Alexandra's DNA, but no body, no sign of a struggle. Neighbors report seeing a quiet man visiting the house late at night, always carrying a large black duffel bag. Detectives track the man to a small cabin in the woods. When they knock, there's silence. Then, footsteps. He's arrested without resistance. Inside the cabin, Alexandra's phone, her driver's license, and that same $400 in cash. When questioned, he claims he found the items. But then he says something chilling. "She's still out there. You just have to listen. At night." The man is charged with kidnapping, but refuses to say where Alexandra is. Months later, hikers report hearing faint cries near a network of old mining tunnels in the area. Search teams comb the tunnels, but find nothing. To this day, Alexandra Lee Palmer's case remains unsolved. Some say she's alive, others believe she never left those woods. And if you ever drive down Highway 27 at night, roll your windows up, because locals say she's still looking for a way home.